Hello and welcome to the Snickerdoodle Knits YouTube channel. I am Jessica, the knitting designer and coach behind Snickerdoodle Knits. In this video tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to bind off purlwise at the end of some brioche. Here, this sample I was working 2-color brioche, but this tutorial that I'm recording right now is specifically for the intertwined shawl. And here I use the bind off purlwise at the bottom of the brioche. So, the bind off purlwise is just like the simple bind off or the knit bind off, which is kind of the most common bind off we first learned, except for we're doing purl stitches. So, if you bind off tightly, do be very careful about your tension. You may want to use a slightly stretchier bind off. For example, you can do a yarn over between your stitches and that can help. But I tend to do everything loosely. So I'm just going to bind off purlwise like normal. The only thing that we're going to do differently when we're binding off with the brioche is that we're going to be working the slip one yarn overs as one stitch. So we'll just purl those stitches as one. So I'll go ahead and purl my first stitch and then purl the second stitch, and here I'm just working the slip one yarn over as one stitch, and then pass the first stitch over the second stitch and off the right needle, and we'll just continue that. Purl one and slide this one over. If you need help with if you need to loosen your tension, you can just pull it here, like that. So then I will purl this one. And slip that one over and off. And just continue this to the end of the row. And you can kind of see there, I have a habit of kind of pulling this yarn out farther, and that is why I get a pretty loose bind off. But I just continue to purl the stitches and bind one off each time. So I'll go ahead and finish this, probably fast forward it for you, and I'll show you what the finished project looks like. Alright, I've gotten my last stitch. Continue the same process, and then just pull this yarn through. And you can go ahead and cut it. I like to go ahead and make sure I cut it up at the loop so that I know that I'm not cutting the wrong strand. So this is what the bind off looks like. Of course, with the shawl, you'll be binding off with the same color. This is all one color brioche, so these stitches here, they're not obvious. You can kind of see. But I like that I like that polished look. The other side, this is what it would look like if we used the knit bind off, which is just a simple bind off. And I don't like that look quite as much. I like this look here with the purl side, binding off purlwise. So yeah, that is how to bind off purlwise with the brioche at the end of brioche. So I hope you found this video helpful, informative, easy to follow. If you have any questions, go ahead and replay this video. You can slow down the speed if you find that helpful, and leave questions down in the comments if you have any more questions. I'm happy to help you out. So if you found the video helpful, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the Snickerdoodle Knits channel. I have video tutorials for each of my techniques that I include in each of my patterns, videos just like this one. And then I also have a design overview video for each of my patterns to give you all of the information about the pattern before you ever even purchase it. So I look forward to seeing you around, and happy knitting!